Here's how to use a cheat code to master the 2-5-1 progression inspired by Janek Gwizdala. All the great jazz musicians are using this technique. Can you learn it to make your life easier? Yes, you can. And it's simple. Endless ways to practice the 2-5-1 with loads of theory. Overwhelming at times. But I figured out an easy way that lets me handle this progression much better. The last 4 weeks I worked very hard for a simple 3-step cheat code that can make your life easier too. In this video, you will get a well-structured homework to start your trip on getting better playing 2-5-1 progressions. Are you ready for this? I'm Sascha on bass. Let's go. I try my best to practice as much as I can, but with the daily tasks of life, it often happens to be really hard to find the time to practice or getting the right practice schedule. The 2-5-1 progression, as you may know, is the most used progression in jazz standards and originals. As a jazz musician, one needs to find ways to play over them within a tune. But somehow, I never found a way to sound the way I liked it or to react as fast as I need while playing each standard. I find that I always sounded kind of childish. Of course I could practice the traditional straight-ahead bebop chromatic approach more to sound valid, because I'm not very good at it yet. But so far I didn't manage to do so, even if it's smart to go through the straight-ahead traditional jazz school.
Don't slow down.
But then I stumbled over Janek Gwizdala's video. He's one of the most interesting bass players of our time and a fantastic content creator and educator, I think. In his lesson, he throws out a 2-5-1-6 lick that is very easy to play in all keys and very easy to memorize. This lick is a perfect starting point. It alone is a massively useful tool and gives you a nice addition to your vocabulary. So you can just go ahead and copy it.
Hey, wait, bro. Jazz is about being an individual, one-of-a-kind, unique person that never steals something other people play. I'd rather sound like me and be an original.
Yeah, man, but I think there is no true uniqueness. We all copy from our inspirations if we know it or not.
Everything's a copy of a copy of a copy.
Do you copy? So, as it is with art licks that you copy, it's just a copy. And it may ruin the flow of your solo if you just throw them into the context once in a while. But we can take ideas and styles of, let's say, Janek Gwizdala, Chris Potter, Wayne Grant's apart and put them back together in a new order and even put our own sauce to it. That is called creation. This cheat code uses Gwizdala's lick as an anchor, a foundation to create your own ideas. It will help you to choose from easy to play shapes and very good sounding notes. Let's have a look on this in the key of C. On the D minor, he uses a very simple phrase that consists basically of the first 5 notes of the Dorian scale. They already contain the D minor triad. He repeats the same shape for the G7 chord, but on the 5th degree he does not begin on the root note G. He starts a half step up from the root at A flat, what can be considered as the B9 of the G7 dominant chord. What now happens is that using this simple shape raised by a half step up from the root note, that you'll get all the candy from the G7 altered chord. Flat 9, flat 3, sharp 11, flat 13. Amazing!
Yeah, bitch!
Fuck. Straight away, it's a winner. On the C major 7, Janek Gwizdala again plays the first 5 notes of the scale, containing the C major triad. And since his original lick is a 2-5-1-6, the 4th bar is the 6. Janek Gwizdala decided for the 6 to be a dominant 7 chord instead of a minor 7, a common thing in jazz. In the key of C, this is A7. So in the 4th bar, he will play the B9 and the root note, that is B and A. Here is the whole lick again. However, you may have heard about the technique of permutation. Permutation is changing the order of notes within a melody. With the example of the Gwizdala lick shape being these numbers, the intervals of the lick, you can change it in many different ways by changing the order of the notes, giving you many options to play with. To make it more accessible for us, we don't need to repeat every single note meticulously. It's okay to forget 1 or 2 notes on the fly. Permutation is supposed to help us alter the original lick without using too much brain power. Don't be too hard on you if you don't use all the notes. Just try your best playing with the notes of the lick in a different order. Let me show you how to do this with Janek Gwizdala's lick. Ain't that cool? It sounds very different. But that is just the beginning. Now that you changed the order of the notes, you can do so much more to make your solo sound more interesting. Like, subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. Let's expand the how we are going to change this lick, and I'm just going to give you some ideas to try out. With jazz harmony, there are so many ways to consider to play the right notes. It's hard to choose from the ridiculous amount of options and also to focus while playing a standard. That is why I like the idea to fool the brain and giving it more simple, abstract parameters to focus on while playing. Lots of harmony knowledge is already in my brain. Shifting my focus to how words can sometimes help me to let my unconscious handle the theory. So another how word you can change your Gwizdala lick furthermore is expansion. That means you're adding things to the licks you want to play with. This is just like cooking, where you take a recipe as a starting point and change everything up, like adding things or taking things away. More spice, less salt. It's all just a matter of taste. But I don't believe in taste. The parameters we're going to add to the lick now are rests and added notes. The original lick is played with consecutive eighth notes. With rests you can let more air into your lick, or room for changes. Start with an eighth notes rest on the one in every bar. After getting the feel for it, you can go ahead and add more rests freely by ear. There are some notes that will sound good every time you play them at a certain place. Find these Easter eggs. With more room in your permutation, now you can add notes to the lick that do not belong to the Gwizdala idea in the first place, giving you more freedom to play with that lick. Just make sure to keep the most or lots of Gwizdala notes in there. You may notice already, you can use this cheat code on every piece of riff, lick or melody that you love. By changing it, you will learn deeply about it, expand your vocabulary and keep your brain in shape as a prevention for Alzheimer. It just so happens that I used this cheat code on a lick by Adrien Ferro. You can check it out right here. There's one thing in my past that I regret. Whether I was in school or with my bass teacher, I never did my homework. I had to reach my early mid-20s to grow more curious, where I started to read and practice bass. If I'd done my homework, I would have come so much further and saved so much time. But Adrian Ferro told me it's never too late. Thank you, Adrian. So give yourself a chance. I feel I'm supposed to encourage you to do your practice. At least 10 minutes a day. It'll be worth it and you will love the feeling of progress. I promise. So that's why I have a homework assignment for you.
You're gonna go out, you're gonna start a fight with a total stranger.
No, don't do that. But get the Janek Gwizdala lick into your fingers, play at least 2 fingerings and positions on the fretboard, and play it in all 12 keys. Yes, all 12 keys. If you can't manage to play all 12 keys, focus on the flat keys, as well as C, G and D, and A, E and B. Use a backing track for this. I like the high quality tracks by playjazztracks.com. There are some on Phil's YouTube channel, and you can even purchase some no bass backing tracks of standards 251s for just a few bucks on his website. I put a link down there. Now use these 2 fingerings. First is an index fingering, starting the lick, chord or scale with your index finger. The second is a pinky fingering, starting everything from there. Two fingerings give you more flexibility on the fretboard. If you got them into your fingers, start with a very easy jam where you use permutation as a way to alter the Gwizdala lick. Put in rests on different counting times of the bars. This is a very good place to start. Since the parameters permutation and rests leaves you with hundreds of possibilities, something new will come out every time, and after you have the Gwizdala lick memorized, you'll be able to alter it every time and use it more freely and organically within your next solo. Alright, I hope this video was useful for you. If you want to support me, now's the time to, well, you know how it goes. With all that stuff to practice and so few time, it's sometimes hard to start. Good to know that I put a video together for you on how to manage your practice routine from now on. You can go binge watching my channel stuff right here. Thanks for watching, have a good one and see you next time. Bye. Here's how to fuck, man, that was shit.